We have some bad news for New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm sorry, but their biggest star, Okada, informed them that he will not be re-signing a contract. Okada is going to be a free agent and explores options once his contract is up after January 31st. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, it was believed that AEW has made the stronger first offer to Okada, but no contract has been signed at press time. The WWE was also of the belief that they had a strong shot at getting him, with the idea that they could convince him he had done all he could in Japan, and because of the economic differences in wrestling, the American scene is far more lucrative. The Wrestling Observer newsletter also reported this, saying that one person close to Okada said nothing has started yet, but it seems like both AEW and WWE are going to fight for him hard. This is going to be an insane bidding war. Whoever signs Okada is going to spend a lot of money. He's one of the biggest stars in the world of pro wrestling. He's done it all in New Japan, so it seems like he wants to move on to a new chapter of his wrestling career. I would have never expected him to leave New Japan, but here we are. I think there's two promotions that can realistically sign him, and that is AEW and WWE. He's going to be expensive. I can't see any other company really afford him. Whoever signs him will get a huge superstar that can make a great impact on the roster. It's honestly a win-win situation for the fans, so we shouldn't be too mad wherever he does sign. There's plenty of dream matches around the American scene. AEW can run back the classic matches between him and Kenny Omega, and on the other hand, WWE could have him debut at WrestleMania. That would shock many people, and then you could put him into many great feuds. Okada can wrestle Nakamura, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and so much more. There's plenty of people online assuming that he's going to AEW, but I honestly think it could go either way. Triple H running things completely changed the game for all prospects and free agents. With that being said, what do you guys think? Where do you see him signing, AEW or WWE? Let me know in the comments below. Speaking of free agents, let's move on to the other hot free agent, and that is Mercedes Mone. Wrestling Observer newsletter said this regarding Mercedes: with all the AEW rumors, and there's expectation in AEW that she'll be in there after finishing up some acting commitments this month, nothing is for certain, and some in WWE believe that there's still a shot for her to be in the Royal Rumble. It's really looking like AEW is most likely going to be her next destination. However, I won't rule out a WWE return. I'll say this: if Mercedes does not return at the Royal Rumble, I think you can pretty much assume that she's going to be at AEW Revolution. If she's serious about coming back to WWE, it's got to be at the Rumble, because that is where she will get the most buzz. It's also the beginning of the road to WrestleMania, and if you want to be at WrestleMania, you gotta show up at the Rumble to get people talking and set up some potential feud. Next week, we'll have a good idea of where she's going to sign. I'll say this: if Triple H manages to bring her back, actually bring her back while tricking everyone into believing she was going to AEW, then kudos to him. There's just something about Triple H. It would mean that we really can't rely on these reports anymore, because the game changed the game. There's some more bad news about Seth Rollins. The WWE is no longer advertising him for the next few weeks of Monday Night Raw. That is not good news. He went from missing this weekend's live events to now missing the next few tapings. That's not encouraging stuff. Like I said in the last video though, we need to remain positive and hopeful and hope that everything is okay. PW Insider is reporting that Randy Orton is going to replace him at the live events for this weekend. PW Torch did say this: either it's bad news and WWE is going to have Seth announce something on TV, or they're just waiting for more test results to get something more definite. But they want to control the narrative on him at this point, because people who know aren't commenting. Everybody close to him is being extremely quiet about the situation. I think we'll have a good idea about it on Monday. I'm guessing that they're going to bring it up. It would be odd if they didn't. You know, if you just imagine just not bringing it up, I don't know, that'd be weird. I think a lot of people want to know. I wouldn't mind having him legitimately not work until WrestleMania, if that would mean that we could get that WrestleMania main event with him and Punk. The next Raw he's advertised for is on February 12th, so I suppose that's when we'll see him and have a better idea of the status of this injury. Not having your world champion on TV for that long is going to be odd if they don't mention it, so I do think that they will on Raw. Anyways, the Wrestling Observer newsletter is reporting that CM Punk and Seth Rollins going head-to-head for the world title is the plan, so I'm wishing a speedy recovery for Seth Rollins. I know that he doesn't want to miss this opportunity, and I know CM Punk definitely wants to have that main event with Seth Rollins, because the money is there, the story is there, and all the fans want to see it. Seth Rollins isn't the only wrestler that's hurt in WWE. The Wrestling Observer newsletter is reporting that Austin Theory actually ended up with a concussion after his botched move with Carmelo Hayes last week. Hopefully it's not a concussion that keeps him out of action for too long. You never like to see a superstar out of action, so I hope that he does get healthy sooner than later. Another major injury in the pro wrestling scene is Kenny Omega. There's been an update on him and his diverticulitis. The Wrestling Observer newsletter said this: due to the inflammation being so bad, Kenny Omega could not have surgery at the time he was diagnosed with diverticulitis, and as of last week, he still hadn't had it. The decision will be made in about 7 weeks based on his healing on whether he'll need surgery or not, but if he does, that would put him out of action significantly longer. There is no time frame on when he'll return at this point. This is incredibly sad news for Kenny Omega. I think it's best he does stay out of action for some time though, because this isn't the only injury that he's suffering from. Before he left, this man was wrestling with so many other problems. Let him rest, let him heal up so he can come back 100% fresh. Wishing him, Seth Rollins, and Theory all a speedy recovery. WWE has officially announced that the Elimination Chamber PLE next month will start at 5 a.m. Eastern Time, 2 a.m. Pacific Time, and 10 a.m. in the UK. I'm finally gonna feel the pain of all the international viewers that they felt for the last 20, 30, whatever years. I understand your pain now, it sucks. I don't even know if I'll be up at 5 a.m., but we will see. This just makes me think that The Rock definitely is not coming back to be at that show. I just can't see one of the biggest wrestling matches ever taking place at that time. Then, the report of Reigns not even working at the show makes me doubt it even more. This PLE could be a disaster, honestly. Without Roman Reigns, and now maybe even Seth Rollins, you won't have 2 of your world champions at that show. That is not a good sign. I think Rhea Ripley is definitely getting that main event spot though, so that should be nice for her. It does make sense considering she's from there, she's really over, and she's on the poster that was just released today, which by the way, the poster looks awesome. A lot of these posters recently have looked really cool. Anyways, PW Insider is reporting that Gable Steveson will be at pretty much every SmackDown taping moving forward. I suppose WWE is going to try to bring him onto the main roster. I don't know if this is a good idea, considering that the match he had against Baron Corbin was hated amongst the wrestling fans at that show. It was actually one of the worst matches I've ever seen. The people down in NXT did not care about Gable Steveson. It'll be interesting to see if he can connect with the main roster's audience, but one of the main reasons why people don't like him is because of the case he got in college. If you know, you know. I just don't understand the idea of pushing him. If he becomes a big name for the company, then that case will always be over his head. People will never forgive him for that, and he'll always have go away heat. I just don't see what WWE is trying to accomplish with this, but I guess we gotta wait and see. I'd rather just have Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker on the main roster at this point instead of Gable Steveson. And finally, the Wrestling Observer newsletter spoke about Roman Reigns and his WrestleMania plans, and it's looking like he will be facing either Cody Rhodes or The Rock, and there's a possibility that it could be a triple threat match. I guess this is news. I don't know what WWE should do with this. They were in a real pickle. What do you guys think? Should it be Cody Rhodes taking on the Tribal Chief in a singles match? Should we see Roman and his cousin go head to head, or is a triple threat match the best idea? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.